Good afternoon to all our listeners and viewers. Vice Captain in and we also on the NDC Heartbeat online Facebook platform. So, welcome to another beautiful Sunday afternoon in Grenada. What we're going to be doing today is to share with you for today's program. We are excited to bring to you a rebroadcast of a press conference held on Wednesday, which presented the groundbreaking announcement of the signing agreement between the government of Grenada and Mount Sinai. The signing underscores the development and future of our new smart hospital as we plan and develop the next steps for the hospital known as Project Polaris. Ms. Andrea Sembernard is the lead person, or as it's internationally known, she is the project sponsor, which is a senior high-level person responsible for guiding and championing the strategic goals and objectives of the project. We will also share with you a special message from the Honorable Delma Thomas as she expresses her government's commitment to youth and sports as she endorses the commencement of a summer basketball camp. Minister Delma Thomas saw it fit to have the Parliamentary Secretary for Sport, Senator Seville Francis, and myself meet two of Grenada's outstanding athletes at the airport who will participate in that training camp. They are Inel Sembernard and Akinde Redhead. That's your program for today, so please stand by.
Hello, my name is Anais Brown, and I will be specializing in the distance races at the Classic Lighted Communal Invitational Games, May the 17th and the 18th at the Kirani James Athletics Stadium. See you there.
Hello, my name is Annie Lodi. I specialize in the middle distance event. I will be participating in this year's Classic Lighting Communal Games, May 17th and 18th at the Kirani James Athletics Stadium. See you there.
My name is Leah Rose Charles, and my most recent accomplishment was winning the Victus Laguerre at the next GUT St. George's Branch Primary School Games. And I am participating in the Classic Lighting Community Invitational on May 17th and 18th at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, representing South St. George Government School. I am inviting you to come out and support greatness and action in track and field.
Yay! Yay! The heat is on! The heat is on! But there is a hope! You can take the heat out of your daily lives by investing in a Classic Lighting solar AC today. All you hear that? Do you know what a BTU is? British Thermal Unit, measuring the amount of water needed to raise the temperature of 1 pound of water by 1 degree Fahrenheit. So, brethrens and sistrings, whether you're roasting in your office or sweating in your jupa, the Classic Lighting Solar AC is here to help cool things down. So don't be a fool, let's play it cool with the Classic Lighting Solar AC, the only system you don't have to pay to use after you've purchased it. Remember, the heat is coming! The heat is coming!
Honorable Delma Thomas, along with excerpts from the meet and greet at the airport with Senator Seville Francis and the Ambassador for Diaspora Affairs, yours truly.
The government of Grenada is proud to partner with the Kellen Baptiste Foundation in support of its summer basketball camp. This initiative not only honors the legacy of our beloved national athlete, but also empower our youth through sports, mentorship, and community engagement. We are happy to provide funding for this meaningful program, which aligns with our commitment to youth and sports development and nation building. Together, we are investing in a stronger, more inspired Grenada on and off the court. We are wishing the organizers, coaches, and participants all the best for a successful and impactful camp.
Here now are excerpts of that press conference held with the Minister of Health, the Honorable Philip Telesford, a representative from Mount Sinai organization, and Ms. Andrea Sambonad, the project lead. So stay with us. Back with you in a moment.
We begin with our official signing ceremony. Our signatories are none other than the Honorable Philip Telesford, Minister for Health, and representative from Mount Sinai International, or the CEO, Dr. Savi Dorotovich. Minister, do you want to give a handshake as well? Thank you so much for this collaboration. We want to thank Dr. Sabi Dorotovich, CEO of Mount Sinai International. I want to welcome to the panel some other representatives from the Project Polaris team. We have also joining us the Honorable Delma Thomas, Minister for Mental Health. Again, I welcome Honorable Philip Telesford, Minister for Health, Ambassador Andrea St. Bernard, project sponsor for Project Polaris, and Mr. Damian Dolan is also joining us this morning for this morning's press conference. And Mr. Dolan is the Project Polaris lead strategic advisor and project consultant. I want to also welcome in the room, we have permanent secretaries and representatives from Mount Sinai International, and of course from the Ministry of Health. This morning we want to hear from our Minister for Mental Health, and she will make some brief remarks thanking the Mount Sinai team for this collaboration.
Thank you, and a pleasant good morning to everyone. It is with great pleasure that I welcome the team from Mount Sinai to Grenada. We are truly grateful for the initial work and meaningful engagement you have already begun in our mental health sector. Your presence brings hope and opportunity for transformation in how we approach mental wellness. As Grenada's Minister of Mental Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, I am filled with both pride and purpose. Our government's decision to create this ministry was no accident. It was a declaration that mental health is not a footnote in Grenada's future, it's a foundation. And today, this partnership with Mount Sinai as the key strategic partner for Project Polaris embodied that commitment. This is not just a hospital, it is a beacon of hope for every Grenadian who has struggled in silence. To a young people grappling with anxiety, to families managing the weight of dementia, to anyone battling depression or trauma, I say to you, help is on its way, and we are building it with you in mind. To our healthcare workers, you will finally have the resources and support to provide the care you've always aspired to give. And to our regional and international partners, thank you for recognizing that health is not complete without mental health. Together, we are creating a model that the Caribbean and the world can learn from. Let us move forward boldly with this vision, a vision that says mental health matters here in Grenada. May Project Polaris continue to light the way forward. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Delbert Thomas, Minister for Mental Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs. Indeed, we are building this for all of Grenada and all of Grenadians, both at home and in the diaspora. Thank you so much once again. We now want to hear from our Minister for Health, the Honorable Philip Telesford, who will present to you and give thanks to the Mount Sinai team for this collaboration.
Good morning to all of Grenada, CARICOM, PT Martinique, and the rest of the diaspora. I adopt the protocol as already articulated. Today, in the state of Grenada, it marks a landmark for our nation. The official unveiling of Project Polaris. We have never lacked the will to do better, and that is why we're here this morning, because of that drive and that determination to do better. So Project Polaris is our answer to that call, a response built on planning, partnership, and purpose. At the heart of this 84-acre medical city, located or to be located at Hopevale, St. George, lies a state-of-the-art 250-bed smart research hospital. And I take this again for you to understand what we are doing here for the Grenadian people. We're speaking of a 250-bed smart research hospital. This facility will be equipped with the capacity, with the technology, and with the expertise to deliver high-quality secondary care and specialist services. It will also be able to address a number of our needs in terms of our specialist services that is currently lacking in our system. It will also address a comprehensive outpatient and surgical services, a digital-first infrastructure that supports real-time health data. And data within the health system is a critical component in the delivery of top-class care. It will also embody cutting-edge training programs for our local healthcare professionals. But we are not doing this alone, ladies and gentlemen. Today, signing with Mount Sinai Hospital, one of the world's foremost medical institutions, underscores the strategic international partnership driving this project. Their guidance and their collaboration will help us develop our medical talents, to help us to integrate best practices and foster knowledge exchange at the highest levels. As a matter of fact, at all levels. We recognize that we cannot usher in the new without improving the old, meaning our current systems at the General Hospital and throughout our local healthcare system in Grenada. So we have already begun collaboration to improve administration and patient care, ensuring that we build capacity and improve service quality. Beyond infrastructure, this is about health system reform. So Project Polaris will decentralize and modernize care delivery. It will increase equitable access. It will promote retirement, and medical tourism, and unlock new opportunities in biotech, in research, and in private sector growth, because we need to forge those partnerships alongside our private sector. It aligns directly with Grenada's National Sustainable Development Plan, particularly outcome number 1, that speaks to a healthy population. And importantly, it's designed with climate resilience and sustainability at its core. Speaking of solar power, hurricane-resistant designs, and a wellness integrated planning which ensures that we are not building not just for today, but we are building for generations of Grenadians to come. In a few short years, we will walk through the doors of this hospital with our families, with our elders, with our children. We will walk into a new era of healthcare in Grenada. One defined not by what we lacked in the past, but by what we dared to dream of for our future. To our healthcare professionals, your dedication is the backbone of this transformation. To the citizens of Grenada, this is your hospital, your future, your beacon of hope for improved healthcare in Grenada. So let us continue to move forward together, healthier and stronger as one people. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to thank you, the government of Grenada, for choosing us, Mount Sinai Health System, as your long-term strategic partner for this project. We greatly appreciate. This is not just an honor, but a very important trust in our commitment and in our capabilities to help you, assist you, as you said, in this endeavor. This is by any means a very historic project for your country, and it is a huge and very important undertaking for our health system as well. Mount Sinai Health System is a 7-hospital health system with a medical school, nursing school, and enormous research and innovative activities today. We were established 170 years ago as the Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City. And since then, we grew to be a globally recognized academic medical center. As such, we are very much taking the fundamental mission of our medical center to heart internationally as well. We would like to share all of the innovations, all of the cutting-edge technologies and knowledge that we have developed over the years with our partners internationally. We are not only proud and honored, but actually very happy to be able to do that with Grenada for one very important reason. This is, as it was said before, are not our first time in Grenada. We have been working with your healthcare professionals. We have been working with the mental health team, and we have been working with the general hospital team already. And one thing we are absolutely certain about even now, that your healthcare workers we cannot praise them enough. They are fully dedicated to providing the best possible healthcare to all of your citizens, and they are fully committed to improving healthcare system in the country. It will be a pleasure working with them, and we are very much certain that this is going to be a very successful collaboration in the coming years. Lastly, I would like to point out that this is not a short-term commitment. We signed today a 15-year agreement, and we are here to stay, and we are here to be your partner in a true sense. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Dr. Sabi, CEO of Mount Sinai International. We want to thank you again for the collaboration. And now we invite our Ambassador Andrea St. Bernard, project sponsor for Project Polaris, to make a presentation.
Thank you very much, Press Secretary. And good morning to everyone. I want to acknowledge Ministers Telesford, Minister for Health, and Minister Thomas, Minister for Mental Wellness. I think this is an historic day for both ministries, and I'm really excited to have the opportunity to present today. I want to also acknowledge and thank our distinguished guests from Mount Sinai for joining us today. An acknowledgement to my colleagues on the Project Polaris team, Mr. Dolland and Ms. Donald, who are in the room, as well as the others who have worked with us. Members of the media, fellow Grenadians, good morning. I want to give an opportunity to break down a little bit of what is Project Polaris. I think this is our official launch, although the concept and the idea have been around for several months now. And so today marks quite a significant milestone in the Project Polaris timeline and overall development. And so I think it's an opportunity to give a little bit of an update on what has Project Polaris been doing that has brought us to this point. So to start, and as a backdrop, we've heard a lot from the ministers about the need for improvement in the healthcare system. We understand that Grenada's healthcare system is fragmented and lacking in holistic, equitable access to secondary and tertiary healthcare services for the most vulnerable and needy. In particular, the General Hospital is in a busy, congested, poorly accessible location that's not best suited for patients to easily access therapeutic care and recover in a tranquil, relaxed environment. So the cornerstone of Project Polaris is the creation of a new, smart, climate-resilient academic hospital in a less congested and peaceful environment. The vision for Project Polaris is to transform healthcare in the Caribbean for the benefit of all humanity. And our mission is to establish Grenada as the medical capital of the OECS and the medical destination of choice for the Americas. The Project Polaris team, the Project Polaris project, is built upon 5 pillars. Number 1, patient-centric healthcare. We want to ensure that we provide accessible healthcare to all Grenadians, that we provide specialist care, and that we provide an excellent experience for all patients, for all Grenadians. We are focused on community engagement as we marry the tertiary, primary, and secondary healthcare services. We have a significant focus on medical training and education as we work with our professionals to upskill, offer greater and better experiences, and ultimately create a cadre of exceptional, even better medical talent. And as we've heard from the team at Mount Sinai, they have validated for us that we already have significant assets in our human resources throughout the medical sector. And so we're really quite looking forward to focusing more on training and education to enhance in that area. Coupled with that is research and innovation. We are building a medical hub, which will also be a hub for research and innovation, which will have the ability to attract medical minds and aspirations from regionally and globally. And number 5 is tech adaptation and integration. We absolutely need to improve and increase our ability to leverage the technologies of the world. The building of our new hospital, our new smart, climate resilient hospital, we will be leveraging all of the benefits of technology that the world has to offer. The expected outcomes and impact of Project Polaris in a very basic general way is to upgrade the hospital infrastructure, provide a wider range of specialized medical and surgical services, and to also have infrastructure that's adaptable for future expansion, growth, and other opportunities. And so these are the focal points and the cornerstones upon which Project Polaris has been developing our plan for the implementation of the new hospital. The Project Polaris team has been working hard for quite some time. And in fact, our initial search for the right long-term strategic partner started late in 2023. We indeed went through quite a robust selection process to select the right partners. So we've spent 2024 and so far in 2025 focused on our plan and partnering with the right strategic partners. We, for example, have had Deloitte working with us on business plans, on our medical, tourism, and retirement plans. And for each of these processes, we are looking to partner with the best in the world as we aspire to build and offer the best of services. In each case, we go through a robust selection process, which results in the selection of key partners that we truly believe in. In the case of Mount Sinai, our official engagement or our discussions began in January of 2024. We did our own research to understand who are the best health system providers, operators in the world. We shortlisted and made sure that we understood the landscape. And we began discussing this opportunity with over 15 potential hospital groups. Based on our comprehensive evaluation of various potential partners, the government of Grenada agreed unanimously for the selection of Mount Sinai as the preferred strategic partner. And we are really quite proud that we've reached this point today to be signing this long-term 15 years collaboration and license agreement with the Mount Sinai team. That's it.
Thank you, Ambassador St. Bernard, lead for Project Polaris. We want to thank you all for joining us this morning. We want to engage the media this morning. We have 3 media practitioners online joining us. If you have questions, please raise your hand and identify yourself, and we will try our best to answer all your questions that you have for us this morning. Linda Straker, you have the floor. You can proceed with your question.
Good morning. Okay. Listen, question, or we can ask as much as we want.
At this stage, you can ask as many as you like. Let's start with one.
Thank you. My first question is, can you explain to me what is a project sponsor?
I'm happy to take that question. So the Project Polaris is the concept of building the medical city. The government cabinet of ministers have created a delivery unit to lead in that project. And the delivery unit consists of myself, who is the project sponsor. And so I am the lead government representative responsible for the project. We have a consultant, which Mr. Damien Dolland is the lead of the consulting firm Darasami, which has been our lead strategic advisor with respect to this project. We have also are working with Deputy Permanent Secretary Ms. Siobhan Britton-Tellisford as the Permanent Secretary on assignment to the Project Polaris Delivery Unit.
When we hear sponsor, normally it's this entity or this person is responsible for doing a whole lot of, they are literally the investor behind it. This person is sponsoring. However, in this case, I'm not getting that impression. So I was trying to understand the use of the term sponsor. I could understand you talk about the lead consultant, and so this is pretty clear, but it's the first time I'm hearing of someone being described as a sponsor of a project and is not the person doing the investment behind it. Okay.
So there is
My-
no investment component to the terminology being used in project sponsor. It really just means the lead person appointed by cabinet to have responsibility for delivery of the project. It's just the terminology that we've used for that role.
Right.
Thank you,
Can I-
Ambassador.
can
Yes,
I
you can
proceed?
go at your next question. Thank you.
Right. A mention was made about the project itself, but just for means of background, was the finally settling on that entity that will work with government of Grenada, and now having signed a 15-year agreement, was Mount Sinai discovered after the government of Grenada would have published expression of interest or an advertisement, how we want to term it, or it was a case where the government of Grenada approached Mount Sinai. And if it was advertised, who are the people who also submitted proposal or concept to work along to create this smart hospital?
Thank you. So we did have quite a robust selection process to arrive at Mount Sinai. Our selection process began in January 2024 when we sent out expressions of interest, RFPs, for service providers interested. We, as I had mentioned, had already done our research, so we knew who were the best in the world, but nonetheless, we sent out a broad expression of interest. We received proposals from over 15 service providers. We shortlisted, after going through an evaluation process, 5 who also then had to continue with the proposal process. And ultimately, as I say, through quite a robust process, we ended up selecting Mount Sinai as the best partner for the government.
Thanks for that clarity. My other question is, this 15-year agreement, what is the cost of it to the government of Grenada financially, and what are the consequences for breaching this? If, for example, when you reach year number 5, you decide that we want to end our agreement, what are the consequences? And what is the cost to government presently?
All right, thank you for that question, Linda.
Thank you for the question again. So the collaboration and license agreement is really an agreement that allows the government of Grenada the opportunity to benefit from the experience and expertise and the full network of services that Mount Sinai has to offer. A main component of it is a license, so the right for the government of Grenada General Hospital to be known as in affiliation with Mount Sinai. What that means is Mount Sinai is committed to working with the government of Grenada to ensure that we raise our standards to international recognized levels. The consequence of losing that agreement is essentially we would lose the benefit of that collaboration and the benefit of being able to license the General Hospital as being in affiliation with Mount Sinai. So it's really an agreement that signifies collaboration where the two partners are working together to maintain the vision of improving the healthcare service to a standard that is recognized and should be recognized as being in affiliation with Mount Sinai. The cost of the fee for the services, it changes. There are various services that will be available that we will be using over the course of the 15 years. And of course, we have the opportunity to customize that as we understand what are the needs. Roughly, it's about $2.5 million per year for the next 5 years, working with Mount Sinai in the collaboration and license agreement.
In terms of the design and so of the hospital, has that already been done? And the necessary feasibility study, has that already been done for the location?
Yes, thank you again. So we are quite, as I said, 2024 and 2025 are planning years, and we've been working diligently and actually at lightning speed to put together the plans for the new hospital. We are working towards a design. We are still in the process of finalizing, again, going through quite a robust process to identify and select the right design firms, build and contract firms. And so we're in that process now. Stay tuned. We will certainly have more information about the process as we go forward. Minister, did you? No. Okay.
All right, thank
My
you.
question
Thank
is
you.
for the.
You have another question, Linda?
Yeah, it is for the gentleman from Mount Sinai.
All right, no problem. So
Yeah.
after this question, we will give an opportunity to the other media practitioners online to ask their questions. So proceed.
Yes, to the gentleman from Mount Sinai. Our minister is stressing on the word research. Can he, as the person from the Mount Sinai, explain what type of research will be is in plan or projected to take place in Grenada? And has the Mount Sinai Institute, the school, benefited from federal funding in the U.S. and is it presently affected by the decision of the Trump administration to cut back funding for a number of institutions that engage in health research?
Thank you very much for the question. But if you don't mind, I would like to pass it to Mr. Dolan to answer this question. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that question. As indicated by Ms. St. Bernard, research is critical, and the Minister Telesford to this hospital. And we're also not limiting it to any one party. Research is going to be for the benefit of Grenadians, and we're going to be collaborating as part of being an academic hospital with our local universities, in particular St. George's University as well. So we are working right now with St. George's University. We're also collaborating with Mount Sinai to determine the key priority areas. They have not been finalized at this moment, but again, we'll be looking to share those in probably during 2026 in greater detail as we align those research practices with the overall development and services that will be provided at the hospital.
Thank you, Mr. Dolan, for your response. I now invite representative from MTV. You're with us this morning. Nisha Paul, I see you also online. If you have a question at this time, you may proceed.
Before you proceed, can you the gentleman about the federal funding, that was not answered.
Yes, federal funding, as you note globally, funding is there are various movements, and so this is a very dynamic space right now, especially in the U.S. in terms of how aid is being provided and what the priority areas are. We are actively monitoring that, and that will also impact what areas we would potentially consider undertaking, noting that we do have, again, relationships with Mount Sinai, but with other entities interested in doing research here in Grenada. But as you know, the NIH, NIAID as well, and other federal agencies are reviewing how they are allocating capital at this time. So again, this is a dynamic process, but the good thing is the Government of Grenada team is engaging in that process and is being very proactive to understand how best to position Grenada to be able to attract those federal dollars that may be available going forward.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dolan, and thank you, Linda, for your question. MTV, Nisha, if you have a question at this time, you may proceed.
Thank you, and good morning to everyone. You hear me clearly?
We are. You may proceed.
Okay, now that the agreement has been signed, what is the next course of action as we proceed?
Thank you for that question. So I want to actually, the next course of action is we continue on. As I said, we are finalizing the partnerships that we need to complete the planning for the implementation of the project. Mount Sinai is now available to us as we enter into and continue the planning of the new smart hospital. So we will be able to rely on their expertise and vast network of knowledge and resources to assist us with planning for the new hospital, including clinical services, assisting with HR, recruitment, organizational planning. So what's the next step is we continue working hard, making the plans for the new hospital, now walking hand and foot in step with Mount Sinai.
Thank you. Nisha, you have a follow-up question?
Yes, please. What can we expect to see in 2025 as it relates to this project? What can we expect to see coming on stream?
So today's a pretty big deal, 2025. So we've got an amazing new partnership that we will see the benefits for throughout 2025. Maybe not so much, it may not be as visible to the public, as I said, because it will be in the planning phases still. Other elements of the planning phase that are underway right now is the master site plan. So I believe you would be aware the medical city itself is planned for 84 acres of land in Hopevale area. The hospital itself that we're speaking of is about 10 acres. And so another significant component that we are now working on is the actual site plan, the master site plan throughout to map out that 84 acres and make the best use of it. So I can certainly say stay tuned to hear more about that. We are also beginning the design components. And so over the course of 2025, I think you will hear about our selection of design firms, which would mean we will certainly be moving forward with the hardcore design, and we would be able to bring more of that news to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we allow for one final question. MTV, do you have a question at this time? MTV, you may proceed.
Good morning, everybody. Troy Gill, MTV News. Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, Troy, we can hear you. You may proceed.
Okay, excellent. Just one question. I know it's early days, but what is the plan with regards to staffing or increasing staffing to cover with regards to the new hospital? Because we know currently there are a bit of challenges with regards to understaffing, human resource, and so forth. So what is the long-term plan with regards to increasing staffing, and what sort of an arrangement is going to be with regards to increasing that human resource potential and capital as it relates to this project?
Thank you for your question, Troy.
Right. Thank you for that question, Troy. So the process of preparing for the future has begun. We need to expedite our training for our people. We have started the process, but we have to go at a faster pace in terms to be able to prepare our people. One would understand that it takes between 7 to 10 years to have specialists prepared for the system. And so we have to get all of this in motion. We have signed an agreement with the Nigerian government for some professionals, specialists to come into our system. I think it's 9 or so specialists that are coming in. And we continue to forge these strategic relationships with our partners globally to have people come into our system. We recognize that we do not and will not have all of the resources here locally. So we definitely have to hire in the resources that we do not have. So the strategy really is to, one, prepare our people while we continue to forge alliances with our global partners. I think that's a simple answer to your question. But we also want to encourage our young people to sign up, to take up opportunities that are available. And this medical city that we speak about is going to redound to serious economic benefit for the population, not just in medicine, but a number of peripheral services that is going to happen. Additionally, the economy is going to be buoyed out of this whole investment. So we want to encourage our people to prepare themselves and to start thinking bigger and dreaming more as to how you can transform your personal lives. And by so doing, we will prepare the entire country for what is to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Telesford. At this time, we want to thank the media for participating in this morning's press conference. I now invite the head table. If you have any closing remarks at this time, you may proceed to do so.
Thank you, Press Secretary. I will just take the opportunity to say thank you again for the opportunity to give this presentation. To the public, stay tuned. This is certainly just early stages announcement, and there will be a lot more to come. We're looking forward to continuing to work diligently to deliver on Project Polaris, and we will be back to give you further updates very shortly.
Thank you so much, Ambassador and project sponsor for Project Polaris. And you've been working so hard for the last 2 years to ensure the success of Project Polaris. And we thank you for your dedicated service to the people of Grenada and, of course, to this project. We want to say thank you also for joining us, Minister for Health, the Honorable Philip Telesford, Minister for Mental Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, the Honorable Delma Thomas, Damian Dolan, Lead Consultant, and of course, Mr. Sabi and Jonathan from Mount Sinai International. Thank you so much, Grenada, for joining us. I want to remind you of the vision and mission for Project Polaris. The vision is to transform healthcare in the Caribbean for the benefit of all humanity, and the mission to establish Grenada as the medical capital of the OECS and the medical destination of choice in the Americas. That is big news today. I want to thank you for joining us, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, wherever you are in Grenada and in the diaspora. It is Water Wednesdays. Ensure that you are refreshed and stay hydrated. Have a great day, everyone. Welcome to Grenada, the Spice Island of the Caribbean. Known for its breathtaking beauty, vibrant culture, and now a beacon of medical excellence and innovation. The Government of Grenada proudly presents the new Hopevale Climate Smart Medical City. Located in the parish of St. David, this 84-acre medical city is set to revolutionize healthcare, education, and tourism, not just in Grenada, but across the OECS. At the core of this transformation is the new state-of-the-art Smart Research Hospital. Designed with patient-centered care and community engagement in mind, it will provide value-based specialist care, innovation healthcare solutions, industry-leading medical training, and cutting-edge research. From advanced medical oncology and reconstructive plastic surgery to physical therapy, fertility treatment, stem cell therapy, and more, the medical complex and annex will offer a wide range of specialized services, ensuring comprehensive care for all. Adjacent to the hospital, a large medical complex will house private sector and grant-funded services, including a biotech incubator and accelerator, fostering medical and technological advancements. The complex also conveniently features a 4-star luxury hotel, providing comfortable accommodations for recuperating patients, individuals receiving outpatient care, family members and visitors alike. Staff and student accommodations will be located within the medical city, providing easy commutes and an elevated team member experience. With dedicated retirement homes alongside beautiful private residences for doctors, hospital executives, and returning nationals, the complex ensures a holistic community-centered environment for all. Sustainability is at the forefront, with a solar plant providing renewable energy and supporting Grenada's commitment to eco-friendly initiatives. A vibrant array of restaurants, shops, and entertainment facilities, along with fitness and wellness centers, will create a lively and engaging community atmosphere. Beautifully manicured parks, walking, running, and biking trails will offer serene spaces for relaxation and recreation, enhancing the well-being of residents, patients, and visitors alike. Seamlessly connected by a well-designed road network and ample parking ensures easy access to all facilities, providing an efficient experience for everyone. The Hopevale Medical City will be a cornerstone of Grenada's medical and retirement tourism industries, attracting individuals worldwide with its promise of high quality in an environment unmatched in beauty and tranquility. Located just 20 minutes from the capital, St. George, and the airport, Grenada offers an English-speaking, safe, and scenic Caribbean destination conveniently accessible from North America, Europe, and the Latin American region. The Hopevale Climate Smart Medical City is not just a project. It is a vision for the future, a commitment of excellence to the people of Grenada, a beacon of hope for generations to come as we move Grenada forward.
Hi, I'm Andrea St. Bernard, project sponsor for the Project Polaris team. I'm really excited to have reached this point today. We've been working really hard to deliver on a new smart general hospital for Grenada. We've been working for quite some time, but today marks such a significant milestone in that journey. We've partnered with Mount Sinai. Mount Sinai is number 5 in the world in hospital systems delivery. And we now have the opportunity to benefit from all of the experience, expertise, resources that Mount Sinai has to offer as we plan and develop our healthcare system, and in particular, our new hospital. I'm really, in particular, quite excited about the opportunity for mentorship, for real partnership and collaboration as Mount Sinai works directly with our own Grenadian medical staff to improve the standards of their service and delivery. And in fact, we're signing today an agreement for the next 15 years of collaboration. But in fact, Mount Sinai has been working with us here in Grenada for several years, actually on a volunteer basis in the mental health and wellness sector. But we've actually had Mount Sinai engage at the General Hospital for the last several months, assessing the state of affairs at the General Hospital and working very closely with the management team to put together a plan to start improving the quality services at the General Hospital and improving the skills of the staff at the General Hospital. This work has already begun and has already seen significant advancement. The General Hospital staff have been amazing in their collaboration with the Mount Sinai team so far, and we're really looking forward to the next year ahead with the continuing improvements that happen at the existing General Hospital, while we are also going to be working with the Mount Sinai team planning for the future of the new hospital. So stay tuned, a lot more wonderful, exciting news will be coming your way.
A young lady came to me and asked for assistance to get some plywood to build a house. And I asked her where she planned to build a house. And she said she thinks she had some land somewhere that belonged to the family somewhere, and she was hoping that she'd be able to clear a spot and build a house. So I asked if she was employed, and she said yes. I asked her if she recognized that if she didn't own the land, that even if you got what you were asking for, which was materials at the time, you still have to find a contractor to build it. And you still have to pay the contractor to build it. And so you have to have money to do that. And that didn't occur to her. So I asked her if she was aware that right next door, there were apartments for sale by the Housing Authority. She said, well, she was aware, but she never really thought it through. Mind you, she has 2 or 3 children. So I said to her, well, maybe you should go to the apartments and have a look at them. And the first response, well, it's not really my thing, you know, I want my own space, I want to plant, etc. But I said, you have nothing now. And you're here talking with me to ask me to help you, and that help is going to come from the taxpayers of Grenada. So everything goes in stages. So let's deal with the fact that you have nothing now. Let's deal with the fact that you want to get to a point where you have a home. And there's a journey that you have to take to get to that point. So I said, perhaps you can work with me and you can go and visit the housing scheme. And she went. And I said, what do you think? She said she liked it. I said, good. I said, the next step is we have to figure out how you get it. And I said, so you already have 1 foot in because you're working and you can get a job letter? She said, yes. I said, well, is Ariza here? Yes. I said, Ariza is offering financing to help support people who want to buy. She said she doesn't have an account at Arise. I said, that's fine. You can go in, you can open the account, you can tell them that you are trying to buy an apartment at the current housing scheme, and they will tell you what you need to do. I said, in addition, you'd have to fill up the form at the housing scheme to say you're interested in applying for an apartment. She did that. She went into Ariza, she opened the account. They told her the criteria, it was, I think 20%, that's too high by the way. She said she had 10%. And that a friend was going to give her the other 10%. So I said, is this friend male or female? She said male. I was like, is he really a friend? Or is he something else? Well, she didn't quite, I still don't know the answer to that. But obviously she didn't have 20%. And I was concerned that I said to her, if this friend gave you 10%, it probably means the friend name is going to have to go on the title deed, which means then you wouldn't really own the property, it would be joint ownership. So I said, I need you to think about this seriously and then you'll come back to me. But by then the friend disappeared. So the 10% was no longer available. I gave her the 10%. Well, let me rephrase that. I told her I would lend her the 10% so that she could make the 20%. And she came in and she signed for the loan and she got that additional 10%, so she had the 20% criteria. Then she started calling me because she was frustrated. It was taking long. She couldn't understand a lot of the processes. Ariza want insurance, they want this, they want that. You know, is this how they treat poor people? Is this how they make everything happen? So I said to her, that's not how they treat poor people, that's how they treat everybody. That is a long process, that sometimes is a little too cumbersome, but you have to understand why. So why do they want insurance? So I explained to her why. I was like, well, I don't know what kind of insurance they're asking you for, but there are different kinds. You could have life insurance, so that if you die, God forbid, soon after you get this apartment, you have 3 children, and the life insurance could be used to pay off the loan so that your children are not thrown out of the apartment and they become owners of the apartment. I said, or it could be credit, life, and disability insurance so that if you become disabled and you're unable to work, then the insurance will pay off the loan, and so you can remain in your apartment with your children. So I said, even if you don't have the money to pay the insurance monthly, the loan can actually cover that, because they can give you a loan where you actually pay the insurance from the loan. So I walked her through this process. And eventually, when it was still taking a little too long, I called Mr. Lord and I said, Mr. Lord, you have my personal assurance that this young lady will pay Ariza, and in any event you have 20% security. The property is being sold at a significantly discounted price. There is significant equity, and the government is supposed to be guaranteeing any default, because we are satisfied that if people don't pay, that the apartments can be sold again. So really, Ariza has a 100% guarantee that they will make money on these loans. And I guess Mr. Lord worked his magic, and soon thereafter, the young lady became, for the first time in her life, a property owner of an apartment that she owns, that she's worked for, that she's paying for, and her children live in. Now it means somewhere between our initial engagement, which could have just ended with probably sheets of plywood sitting somewhere hoping that someone will help her build, perhaps rotting away, or perhaps somebody stealing it, or going and build it in a place where there's no water, no electricity, no road, no street lights at night. And her getting the apartment in current, there's a huge gap, and that gap is the financial literacy. That gap is understanding how banks work, how credit unions work, how insurance work, why they work, the importance of them, what land ownership means, what property ownership means. But crucially, it means the dignity of the young lady and her children. It means the fact that the building is located in a place that's central. There's a current community center, there's a current school, there's Lassager's Beach, there's Lassager's playing field, there's access to almost every and any kind of amenity. It therefore means the quality of our children's life ought to be significantly improved than it was before. But there's one cherry on the cake. You know, oftentimes we think that our people are not honest and they don't mean well. A couple months after, I got a call and she said, I'd like to know how I pay you back your 10%. And that was the best part of this entire engagement. But I told her she didn't have to pay me back, but she could put $100 a month aside in a savings account, and I'll be checking on her to make sure she do it so that she saves money for herself and her children for a rainy day, for health shocks, for economic shocks, etc. So I'm making the point to say, especially for financial institutions, for the most part, our citizens want an opportunity and they want a chance. You may have the exceptional bad mind who just don't want to pay even if they can pay. But for the most part, most people respect their dignity. They try to honor their word. And certainly when it comes to their home or homes, they will do everything to earn a home that they're proud of and to be able to finance and repay those who assisted them in getting that home. Because a home signifies a number of other things that I think we all know about, given the history of the Caribbean, the history of Grenada. So I'm giving this example because I was inspired by recognizing that if I had not, and perhaps if she called me a few times and didn't get me and got frustrated and say all politicians are the same, if I didn't stay the course with her and walk her through to say this is why you need the insurance, this is the advantage of the insurance, if I didn't ask her to think twice about whether or not she showed this is a real partner that she's getting this 10% from or something else, it would have been easy for her to walk away. And so our institutions, our community leadership or financial leadership needs to make sure that we support our people along the journey. And to me, that starts with educating them about the process and educating them as early as possible as to the advantages of all of the financial tools that are available to support them and to encourage their success. And that's the main challenge. People don't know, and sometimes it's difficult to find the information. So I hope that by bringing all of us together today, I hope this becomes a model where we can go to our communities. It doesn't have to be community centers, it doesn't have to be during the week. I appreciate for a lot of the workers at the financial institutions, it might be a sacrifice to shop on a Saturday or after work, but we can get pretty efficient and pretty good at it. A 1 hour session on a topic in a community center could make a significant difference in the decisions that our citizens make.
Other equally interesting and stimulating programs to present to you. Have a great Sunday afternoon. Bye-bye.